In general, at least, so there's EMTs, and then from there's paramedic, but it depends on like station to station and stuff, because there's a lot of private ambulance companies that do like basically the transporting to the hospital, because the fire departments don't have them. So they might be normal EMTs in those, but then the firefighters are EMTs too. It's kind of like a little confusing.
Right.
So it depends, but at the fire department, it will be like for the local one down in the downtown. There's 2 guys that are EMTs and there's 2 guys that are paramedics. Can subscribe drugs or prescribe drugs. That's probably the biggest difference, because you'll have like a big box that has everything, and like, you know, even like the fentanyls and things like that for pain, and that's the number one thing. But the schooling as well is much more advanced. Like EMTs here, paramedics up here. It's not the same ballgame. But you know, here's for the ambulance. Like a call is kind of a lot around here because we have so much to provide.
Yeah.
So if we show up, right, the private ambulance company, which is called Care Ambulance, will have 2 guys, okay? Then the firefighters will show up, and that's 4 more people. There's gonna be a minimum of 6 inside. It's a lot. I think it freaks people out sometimes, depending on what the call is, because you got all these people coming in, because you just walk in their house, right, you know, to do whatever you need to do. But that's how it normally is. And that's for like Orange County, LA County, but like, so it's agency to agency. For example, Huntington Beach or like LA City does their own transporting. So they have their own ambulances.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like I said, it's confusing. It goes agency by agency. I know the most about Orange County because that's who I'm, you know, affiliated with. So that makes the most sense. But for them, they don't have their own ambulances, so they have a private company that comes in, and that's what I did for 3 years. You know, I worked for that company. So a little, like I said, it's a little different. It's a lot of people. So for advanced EMTs, I know, like in Las Vegas or Clark County, they're advanced EMTs, and then the difference of the scope of practice is they can do a few more things. They can start an IV, which is pretty important, and then they can intubate the patient, so putting the tube down. And those are 2 big skills, but they have, you know, a few more that they can do. But for California, it's just EMTB out here, and I think the reason why that is, it's just because, you know, there's less. Like here, we're fortunate hospitals are always very close and stuff. So certain parts of the country, it's not like that, and you have to be able to, you know, be able to know a little bit more to help out the patient more. But it would be like, instead of like a squad, it would just be people that have other jobs. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That branch off. So just like you're asking, so there are, you know, rescue units.